Welcome back to Real Estate Mindset. Today's video is going to be absolutely bonkers. Now, the data is in, and yet again, we have more leaked documents. And this time it's from Amazon, the #2 biggest private employer in the US. So, these developments, this story, these leaked documents are especially important because we have one of the biggest private employers in the US that has essentially hurt a ton of people with their reckless optimism. So we're going to go over the leaked documents, what they did wrong, how their reckless optimism is actually hurting potentially tens of thousands of people. After that, we'll go into a video that's really going to highlight the current state of Amazon, which is also important because what I'm saying is this: we have an incoming recession right around the corner and probably happening right now. So it stands to reason if Amazon is in trouble and if they're hurting a bunch of people, odds are that's a sign of a recession. And again, we're probably in it right now. Now, remember, you guys, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just a normal person who's renting right now, and I hate renting right now. I want to purchase a property. I haven't found it yet. And for the frustration for renting, guys, please, if you're frustrated renting too, like this video, subscribe if you haven't already, shoot me a comment below, hit notifications, and understand there's something wrong with YouTube and people aren't getting my notifications. So understand I'm going to start posting videos around 2 p.m. Central Time. But regardless, you guys, let's hop into this article right now. This article is from Wolf Street. The name of this article is Leaked Documents Show Amazon Made Enormous Mistake and Its Employees Paid the Price. So again, reckless optimism hurting people. Let's read. So starting here on this paragraph, the last year has seen a large number of job layoffs in the technology sector. Major companies like Salesforce, ESPN, Microsoft, Google, and Meta platforms have all announced cuts to staffing, a move that has been largely attributed to the rapid growth of online tech during the COVID-19 lockdown. COVID really messed things up here. Amazon is one of the biggest companies announcing waves of job cuts. In January, the company let go more than 2,300 employees in the payments, healthcare, human resources, robotics, and web services departments. Now, a leaked document published by Insider shows the company's hiring process lacked general oversight. So again, that really hurts and impacts all of the people that they should never have hired in the first place. Let's go on. In the case of the web services team, when all was said and done, Amazon had listed approximately 3 times as many open positions as were approved by the company. Now, that's a huge failure of a company to have 3 times the open positions that are approved. How does that even happen? I can't even fathom how something like that would happen to such a humongous company. Utility company team, for example, posted nearly 25,000 open positions in 2022, but only about 7,800 positions were approved by the company at large. Shocking. I mean, it's shocking to me, at least. That's shocking to me. The document asserts that the company left hiring practices up to individual managers, and the lack of oversight resulted in a process prone to inconsistency, error, and potential misuse, including overhiring, the document said. The leak of the document in the midst of record layoffs certainly doesn't look good. The new layoffs will affect Amazon Web Services called AWS, and AWS is huge, you guys. I actually use AWS myself. People Experiencing and Technology Solutions, PXT Solutions. Advertising and the video live streaming service, Twitch. So we're here now. 2 days after Business Insider initially published the article, Amazon spokesperson Kelly Nantel responded to the Street's inquiry. And here is the response from Amazon right here. Let's see what they had to say. The conclusion Insider draws in their article are simply inaccurate. For example, while multiple requisitions may have been open for a single role, it's because we source candidates from a variety of geological locations. AWS has never overhired beyond its planned and approved headcount. Unfortunately, Insider made incorrect assumptions based on an anonymous source and a document that's both outdated and taken out of context. Yeah, Amazon is laying off thousands and thousands of employees, and just because they may have not made that mistake in AWS doesn't mean they didn't make the mistake in several other places. And I find it concerning that that response was only in regards to AWS, and they're basically saying that Insider took their leaked document out of context, but I strongly doubt it. If there's too many job openings versus the approved jobs that they can even provide, obviously people are going to get hurt. Obviously, that's a sign of reckless optimism, and that's extremely bad, not only for all the workers, but it's bad for our economies, and it's manipulating the job numbers, right? So the job market may not be as strong as what people think. And Amazon, again, number two, if Amazon goes down and if Amazon suffer, we can guarantee that many other companies are suffering along with Amazon. Let's listen to a video right now from CNBC, and let's listen to the overall state of Amazon. And they're going to go into one of the biggest platforms, most profitable platforms, which is AWS. So this is going to be really important to understand because it's not looking too good for Amazon. Amazon's actually probably going to suffer a lot worse moving into 2023 and into 2024. Listen to this video.
And we've talked a lot about this. The growth rate used to be in the 30s, 40%. That is expected to drop to the mid-teens in the current quarter and potentially decelerate even more throughout the year. So it makes sense they were cutting here. They cut 17,000 not long ago, 18,000, excuse me, earlier this year. This is an additional 9,000. So I'm not sure where that brings it, but remember they hired, it doesn't make too much of a dent in terms of that pandemic hiring, which of course includes the factories, the warehouses. So this is part of them getting all of that in line. And when you look at some of the metrics of Amazon versus other big tech, I mean, this is an expensive company. They have a lot of levers that they can, and you might argue should be pulling because that core business is just not very profitable at all. That is e-commerce.
That's a great point to raise, Deirdre, which is basically Meta is so much more profitable that when they announce the plan to cut as many employees as they have, you can imagine it's going right to the bottom line. In this case, I mean, Amazon, right, there was a research piece last week talking about how long they've had negative cash flow. It's been some time now, hasn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking at the cash flow numbers for the next 12 months as well. And you look at Amazon, it's the net margin, the next 12-month net margin is 3.2%. You look at an Apple, that's 25%, a Microsoft, 34%, Google, 23%, Meta, to your point, David, 21.5%. So Amazon, especially if you're thinking in this moment that big tech is a haven in turbulent markets because of these fortress-like balance sheets, Amazon doesn't have the same kind of balance sheets nor the same kind of growth as some of its peers. In terms of, let me give you that free cash flow number, though, and this is for the previous year. Amazon's actually better than Meta here, $37.3 billion versus $23.8 billion for Meta. So it's a bit of a give and take here. And it is because of AWS, its cloud computing unit, and advertising that is really the profit engine of this company, so valuable. But again, when these are also two areas, when you think about enterprise spending, if they're cutting back on their cloud costs and advertising, these are two places that are going to get hit.
So it sounds like Amazon is getting hit hard, probably again, a sign of a recession. And again, this is now 27,000 employees globally that they're laying off. And also what the video is pointing out is they've been showing negative cash flow for a substantial amount of time or for several years. So one of the biggest companies in the US may not be in the best shape that we all assumed that they were in. And what is that going to do to the housing market? Obviously, as unemployment shoots up, as recession just sinks its teeth in, it's going to impact the housing markets where there's jobs from Amazon. So keep your eyes on the Amazon facilities, keep your eyes on the layoffs because they're a big player and a lot of people go to where those jobs are. Let's jump back into the video and listen to what she has to say about AWS.
Announced cuts in the PXT team. I was looking that up because I wasn't familiar with it. It's Amazon's People Experience and Tech.
Deirdre, does this mean that there's the fact that AWS, and you highlighted that, is so important, what kind of cloud slowdown are we seeing? You know, Microsoft, for instance, we haven't seen the same kind of announcements really from Microsoft as far as cutting back there, have we?
Yeah. It's a good point. Amazon is, so by far the #1 player in terms of cloud computing. They had about a 7-year head start on the other hyperscalers, being Microsoft Azure and Google Cloud. So when you look at the law of large numbers, it is slowing. Growth is slowing a lot faster than that at Microsoft and Google. So it may make sense here. Remember, too, that a lot of folks will continue to ask, especially now, where are the cuts at Google? We know that they're trying to get leaner, more efficient as well, but their culture maybe has prevented them from doing the same kind of cuts. We've seen some, but not to the same extent. Google Cloud, when you look at it in terms of the cloud enterprise spending landscape, it's a distant #3. And when you talk to Ruth Porat, the CFO, she's always saying that we want to keep investing because it's so important for their future. I guess this does raise the question, can you continue to invest at the same pace? It's kind of for them do or die, right? Because they have to catch up with the others. Amazon, it's in a pretty good position to be able to scale back. I would argue maybe in a better position than the #3 player here.
And guys, it seems like there might still be more to come, that they're going through these teams and they're doing all these evaluations. They aim to have the decisions complete by mid to late April as the teams finalize which roles can be cut.
So obviously more to come, and that's what they're pointing out here. There's more pain to come, and not just from Amazon. Many of the tech companies that they listed, Microsoft, Apple, Google, right? More than likely, those job cuts are going to accelerate moving into 2023. And remember this, Jerome Powell said they plan on having unemployment go to 4.5%, which will probably spiral out of control to something like 5%, which means we're going to have an initial 1 million to 3 million job losses moving into 2023. I believe a lot of those job losses are going to be coming from big tech companies like Amazon, even Walmart, obviously additional tech sector. It's going to hit the real estate sector. It's going to hit new construction. But either way, you guys, this right here is a sign of things to come. And this right here is telling us that quantitative tightening is working. If you're on the sidelines trying to purchase a house and you're waiting, you're probably making the best decision you can right now. Now, in conclusion, take this as a warning. Make sure before you purchase a house that your income is solid, that you're not going to lose your job right when you purchase an overpriced house. If you're going to purchase an overpriced house right now, again, make sure your job is solid. If you're not going to purchase an overpriced house right now, if you're like me, renting, sitting on the sideline, waiting for the housing market to crash or reset, right? Negative equity growth, then we need to be strengthening our income, working on our credit, working on our assets, our mindset, our expertise, and our love for life. Now, other than that, guys, that's going to conclude today's video. Obviously, we're seeing unemployment start to spiral out of control, even though technically the unemployment rate is low, right? But that's changing right before our eyes, and I hope you guys see it so it doesn't blindside you. Now, other than that, I hope you guys got some insight, value, and perspective from today's video. And if you're out there investing in real estate, you know I wish you luck, and I hope you win.